everyone and welcome back to another video. I've actually tried filming this video before and I did, but I just ended up not liking it at all. The way the lighting was and the way I sat on the sofa and stuff. I just didn't like it, so I said I'm just gonna refilm it, and guess what? It's been 2 months. 2 months? Yes, 2 months, and now I'm finally getting some time for myself so I can film this video again. And actually this is something that I've already started 2 months ago, so I don't know if there's any point to doing this, but I really wanted to because it's a really fun thing for me. So let's get started. I think you don't know, but I turned 29 this year, and this kind of got me thinking that by May next year I'm gonna turn 30, which is really exciting because people say the 30s are kind of the best years because you're still young enough to do everything and you don't care what other people think. So I thought, because last year, because of all the corona stuff, last year was really shit, like for every single one of us. I wanted to make my last year in my 20s something to look forward to and something really exciting. So I thought of 30 things that I want to do before I turn 30, and I wrote down some things, which is really exciting. And I subdivided those goals into 3 categories, which are kind of like working out and moving and exercise kind of goals. Then there are goals that are just for me, just personal goals that I want to achieve for myself. And then there are some goals and things that I want to do that kind of connect to my interests and hobbies. So in this first video, I'm gonna just present you the goals, and then I've already achieved some of them over the last 2 months, and then I'm gonna upload those videos first, and then we just go on like this. So let's start with the workout related goals. My first goal is to just run another race. First I wrote down marathon, but I'm just not trained enough to do that, so just one race, because I really wanted to do that last year in 2020 and I couldn't do it. So I want to run an official race this year. Then I want to get my lifeguard certificate renewed because I got it back in 2011, I think, and you have to renew it. So I want to redo the whole course. But right now there are no courses, but I hope that over maybe winter time and stuff, there are gonna be new courses, and I want to get my lifeguard certificate again. Then I want to start wearing barefoot shoes again, and especially train my feet, because my feet are not very stable within themselves. They kind of sink in the middle, and I want to try and repair that with some special kind of workout and barefoot walking, running. We'll get into that in the video. Then I want to walk 50 kilometers in a day and set my personal record. I don't know why, just because I can, I guess. Then I want to do some back-to-back cycling. So in 2 days, I want to cycle a total of 150 kilometers and divide the kilometers between the 2 days. So I don't know how much in one and then how much in the next day, but we'll see. Then I want to try shooting a bow and arrow. I don't know what to call it, but I want to do like a beginner lesson in this, just because I think it's a really fun sport, like shooting an arrow at something. Not at an animal, but like in general, pretend I am the main character in a fantasy novel. That's basically what I want to think about while doing this. And I'm not going to be really good at it, but yeah. So those are my workout or moving kind of related goals, because they're not really working out, but just things I do in my free time that seem fun for me. Then the goals that are my interest in my hobbies. So the first one is that I want to veganize my favorite meal, which is a Greek dish, which is called pasticcio, and it's like the best thing ever. But I haven't had it in 7 years because 7 years ago I turned vegan or plant-based, whatever you want to call it. And since then I haven't had it, but I'm really missing it, and I want to create a recipe of my own for this dish because I simply love it so much. Then I want to grow my YouTube channel. I know I'm not doing a very good job with consistently uploading, but that is also because I work 40 hours a week, and I'm still in training. So right now I've got exams and tests, and I'm in the final phase of my training. So I'm really, really busy, and this is like priority number one for me right now. But I want to try and be more consistent in the future. Yeah, and upload some more because YouTube is like really, really fun, and shooting videos is really fun. So I want to grow my YouTube to, I don't know, 3,000 followers maybe? I don't know. What do you think? Then I love The Witcher. I love the books. I love the computer games, and now I'm loving the series. So one of my goals is to read The Witcher again. So all the books, I'm into it, in the middle of it. And I want to create a Gwent deck and play. So online I found like the prints for the Gwent cards that they have in the computer game or in the console game. I don't know, whatever you play. And I want to print them and then play some Gwent of my own. And again, with the bow hunting, pretend I'm like a fantasy character. Yeah, that's just me. Then I want to grow my own food on the balcony, which is already in progress. And I'm already harvesting some like tomatoes and strawberries and radishes, chili peppers. But again, video somewhere. Then I want to write my personal cookbook. Nothing to publish because they're not my recipes, but I want to create my own cookbook where I can just put recipes in and take really nice pictures. And then if someone asks for a great recipe, then I'm just like, look at this. These are my favorite ones. Yeah, so just some personal things. Then I want to read The Wise Man's Fear, which is the second book to The Name of the Wind, which is basically one of the most amazing books. But I read this like several years ago and bought this and then never read it. So my goal is to read. I already listened to this one as an audiobook like several times. It's just amazing. The version that I put here is bloody brilliant. So I want to read this, and then there's also like the third like small additional extra storyline from one of the characters in the book, and it's amazing. Read it. If you're into fantasy and you haven't read this, where have you been? Like hiding under a rock? I don't know. Then I want to create a photo book for 2020 because it's been a shit year, and I want to remember all the good things that happened too and all the fun stuff that we did. So I want to make a photo book, and with the next goal, that is to sort through all photos and organize them because I'm really not good at it. Usually I just put them on my external hard drive and leave them there and never look at them again. And I want to create like a place where I can specifically look for photos and like manage them all. Then the next goal is to beautify my balcony, which goes hand in hand with growing my own food. My balcony looked really plain and boring for the past couple of years, or always. Like it's always been looking really grim and bland. So I changed it this year, and while it's not perfect and it's a little bit chaotic, I really love it right now because it's like a green oasis, but again, video. Then I want to knit my own blanket for winter. Yes, I cannot knit. It's not one of the skills that I possess, so I guess I first have to learn some knitting. We'll come to that. Then I want to have 10,000 euros in saving by the end of next year. I don't know why 10,000. Maybe that's because it's a great number, but I really, really want to achieve that, and yeah, to have some security basically. Then I want to write to 10 companies about sustainability, either telling them how good they're doing and that I love their products, or if I have some critique, and let them know, because I think it's something really powerful that we can do as consumers, is write to companies. And I always write down what I want to say, but then I never end up doing it. But by May next year, I want to have written to 10 companies and talk to them about their sustainability practices and how they can improve, or how I see their effort as a consumer. And then the last interest and hobby goal is to find the perfect oat milk recipe, because that is something that I've been struggling with. I always buy oat milk packaged because I haven't found a recipe yet that I liked, where the milk is not cloudy and thick. I don't know why, but it always ends up like this for me, even if I put it through a nut milk bag. I don't know why. So I want to find the perfect oat milk recipe that also lasts for more than one day in the fridge. And now let's come to the last category, which is category just for me. The first thing, and the most important one for me, as I told you before, is I want to get my first proper adult job. And I'm on my best way to doing it. So I think by the mid of November next year, I'm gonna be finally working independently in my first dream job. Manifesting. Then the next goal for me is to have laser eye correction surgery. Maybe that is one of the goals that I've already fulfilled, and it's also gonna be, I think, the first video that I'm gonna upload after this one, so you can watch my journey of laser eye correction surgery right up here. I'm gonna link it. And then I want to visit my parents in Hong Kong. Last week they moved to China for their job. I'm not going to say anything more because it's their private thing, but I really want to go there, and hopefully that's going to be possible sometime in autumn. Then I also want to go on a solo weekend trip, or on a solo trip, because I've actually never traveled alone, which just seems kind of crazy. I mean, I've flown somewhere alone, but then always met up with people at this place, so I was never alone, and I really don't want to miss out on something like that. Then, okay, have you seen Black Panther? Yes, I think everyone has. And his sister, her name is Shuri? I think so. She's like the most badass person in this film, I think. And I love her haircut, and especially her undercut. And since I've got an undercut as well, I want to steal her design and maybe shave it into my undercut. Just for fun. I know it's not gonna last, but I think it's just gonna be a fun thing for me to pretend again I'm someone I am not. Then another goal is I want to stop shaving my legs to see how I feel in summer. I already did that, and I'm gonna elaborate a bit more in another video. Then I want to learn a new language. I don't want to master it or anything. I just want some new challenges as soon as I'm done with my training and into my new job. And especially I want to learn Arabic because I've got some friends that speak it, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity that I can learn from. And of course I'm going to do like a beginner lesson. And I hope they offer some courses here in my town. I haven't checked yet, but yeah, that is something that I want to get into, learn a new language. So far I'm like fluent in German because that's my first language. Then I'm fluent in English because I spent some time abroad and I love the language, and I also studied it. And then I have some rudimentary knowledge of Greek. Because I actually lived there for 5 years when I was little, and I understand some Greek, like all the everyday stuff I'm pretty good at, but as soon as it comes to like having a proper conversation, I'm really not good. Yeah, but I wanted to learn something new because I think something new is always something challenging and fun. Then I want to get another tattoo. I already have plans, so I've got 3 at the moment. Those three. And I want to get another one. really excited. And then the last one is that I want to get in contact with one of my childhood friends that I met in Greece when I was really little. And while we are in contact, like from time to time, we never stay in contact really for long periods of time. But I'm sure I can just give her a call or text her and, I don't know, maybe even visit her or just talk to her, because I think it would be nice. Because yeah, I don't know, I haven't heard from her in like such a long time, and she's such a nice person, and I really want to, I don't know, see her again, speak to her again. I think it's gonna be great, but I'm kind of hesitant. I know. Do you know that feeling if you haven't talked to someone in like literally ages, although you know that you should have, but you kind of never did? And yeah, it's getting harder and harder to just pick up the phone and call them, but I really want to do that this year. And yeah, so these are my 30 goals that I have for the upcoming 10 months basically now. And I hope I can fulfill most of them. Of course, it's not going to be a tragedy if I don't, but yeah, I hope you follow along. Again, here's the link to the first video that I'm going to upload right after this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to see you then in the next video. And if you, of course, if you've got any other suggestions, and of course, if you have any other suggestions or wishes for videos, please leave them in the comments and let's have a nice little discussion about this. So, see you in the next one. Bye.